As Trump bashes fake news in Davos, liberals stunned by what's heard from audience. By Robert Rich, Politics U.S. News from AdWorldNews.com. Despite the fact that things are looking up here in America, our news from the mainstream media still is fixated on bashing President Donald Trump whenever they can. Too bad for them. The president most recently used his platform in Davos, Switzerland, during the World Economic Forum to bash fake news everywhere. And that was about the time liberals were left stunned by the audience. The left has made no attempts to conceal their disdain for President Donald Trump. That's why we're constantly seeing lies and deceit in their reporting, as they can't wait to properly vet information and sources before getting out their next hit piece. As this has resulted in the liberal media taking a major hit to their reputation, credibility, and their ratings. Sadly, it seems that not even being humiliated and embarrassed on the world stage time and time again is enough to make them change their ways. Of course, what else do we expect when they live and operate within a bubble where everyone else believes the same exact things they do? Intoxicated by their hate, the left is only doing themselves harm, and what just happened in Davos, Switzerland, went to prove just that. President Donald Trump recently traveled to the World Economic Forum, where several other heads of state and billionaire business owners went to discuss how to improve the state of the world. Given the opportunity to speak, Trump issued a hard-hitting speech that centered primarily around the idea of America first. I believe in America. As President of the United States, I will always put America first, he said to the crowd during his scheduled slot. Just like the leaders of other countries should put their country first also, but America first does not mean American alone. While he spoke, Trump's room was packed, leaving others who were slated to speak at the same time, such as Prime Minister Theresa May, with more empty chairs than full. However, as the Daily Caller reports, things would take a turn as Trump took part in a Q&A session where he ripped into the liberal media. Let's take a quick listen. Okay, that was fun.
They will explain someday why, but I've always gotten a lot. And as a businessman, I was always treated really well by the press. You know, the numbers speak and things happen, but I've always really had a very good press. And it wasn't until I became a politician that I realized how nasty, how mean, how vicious, and how fake the press can be as the cameras start going off in the back. But overall, I mean, the bottom line, somebody said, well, they couldn't have been that bad because here we are, we're president, and I think we're doing a really...
Well, it wasn't until I became a politician. Okay, we heard that. As can be heard in the footage, a large portion of the audience let out a series of boos as Trump was responding to the question. In short, they were showing their support by booing the mainstream media. In the back of the room at the time, just like that, it was made abundantly clear what people really think of the press versus President Trump. The liberal media would have you believe that President Donald Trump is hated by nearly everyone. Unfortunately, it looks like they're even dumb enough to not understand that enough people support President Donald Trump to get him elected. Regardless, the left continues with the non-stop lies and is showing no sign of stopping, even though it's doing more damage to them than Trump. What these idiots can't see is the fact that a massive chunk of this country disagrees with the toxic rhetoric they spew every single day. People are waking up to their lies. It's only a matter of time before the American people stop listening to them altogether. I have. And rightfully so. Even better yet, give the response President Donald Trump got during, given the response President Donald Trump got during his remarks, it looks like that reality is already well on its way. Of course it is. Of course it is. People are not listening to the news stations anymore. And I'd like to know who's funding them, who's backing them up, because their ratings are not doing well. And yet, somehow they still remain in business. That's why I say, who's paying for them? Soros, CIA, who's funding these people to continuously bash the president? Their ratings should be like down at least 50, 60%. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.